Okay, though. Hello, everyone. My name is Elvis Santana. I'm a partner of Santos e Santana Advogado. That is a Brazilian law firm specialized in corporate law with large experience in aviation, energy, agribusiness, electronic, and insurance segments. I would like to thank you all for being here today. And I'd like to thank you, ICG team, for promoting this event where we can discuss opportunities in these two great countries and great economies. Um, just to talk a little bit about our law firm, we have more than 40 years of experience in the market. 60% of our clients are multinational companies present in 10 of our countries. We have today more than 3 billion reais in strategic litigation ongoing. Four of the 10 largest manufacturers of mobile phones in the world are our clients. 100% of the national territory is covered by our service. So Brazil is so big, and we are in all country and providing service in all Brazil. And we have been recognized as one of the best firms in Brazil by a lot of rankings in the world. So to talk about Brazil, of course, I am a lawyer, so I choose to give you the legal issues overview of Brazil. So just to point out, Brazil has 14 million million population. So the Brazil economy turns around exportation mostly of iron to the global industry. The country has a huge agribusiness as well, export service, and has a strong industry and commerce as well. Lastly, we have been providing legal service to a large and mixed number of investors that comes from a lot of countries, but mostly China and the United States in segments in solar energy until manufacturer cell phones companies. It's also usual to attend investor in the financial markets, startup investors, service providers, companies, and large companies from the energy sector. Lastly, the solar energy sector is growing in a good shape in Brazil, and it has coming a lot of opportunities to people outside Brazil to export spare parts or export solar panels and other stuff connected with the solar energy. Um, so talking about what's going in Brazil now, I would just give you a quick review about the current tax system because Brazil right now is discussing its tax reform. So all Brazilians now and our investors now are with the eyes in the Congress because they are discussing the most important topic nowadays. After 60 years without any important adjustment, one of the most complex and complaint tax system in the world is going to be revised. So today, I could say we have a current tax system with rates separated by service and goods. Today in Brazil, we have a huge difference between providing service and goods. What caused a lot of discussions in the courts because, for example, there is a big discussion in Supreme Court today that is software providing service. They are discussing if they provide a service or if their software is a good. So because of the different rate, they are fighting the court to classify it as a service because there is a less incoming, the less rates taxes. So today Brazil separates, and there is a difference between service and goods. Of course, the system is very complex, and this is just an idea. The tax over the service is under 5%, and this is a municipal tax. And to goods, the tax could vary between 12 and 30%, and depends on the regime where the company is established, because we have a regime called Simples that it's selected to small companies, and then we have uh, the regime presumido for companies, regular companies, and the lucro real regime for designated to large companies. But it's just a little idea. Just to give an idea, it was 443,000 little adjustments made by the government since the beginning of the current tax system, of which more than 30,000 rules are enforced right now. So I will repeat, are 30,000 rules being enforced right now. So to talk about Brazilian rates and the Brazilian tax system, we need more time. We need maybe 1 week to explain how it works. And then comes the tax reform. Last week, the tax reform was approved by the House of Representatives in Brazil, and now it's going to be analyzed by the Senate. The estimative is to be finished by the end of the year. Uh, some important points of the tax reform in Brazil. So, first of all, we will change the taxation, and because today we have a cumulative supply taxation. So the industry pay taxes, and then the commerce pay the same taxes, and the consumer pay the same taxes. Now we are accumulate all taxes to the consumer, as the big economies and the big tax systems in the world do right now. So Brazil is changing its system to simplify. This is the main goal of the tax reform. It's not to rise taxes or make the tax less. It's to simplify the system and to be less rules and to be more in a good shape. So this is the first change we are experiencing in the tax reform. Then we will have a reduction in the name of rates. So we are talking about unificate a sole rate of 25% for every company in Brazil. So the idea is to have just one rate to service or goods and to any company, and we are going to have the same rates, and as I said, to products and service. The main goal is to simplify the system and to uh, make better the life of the taxpayer and attract new investors, because today it's impossible to say how much you're gonna pay in your operation. Today, if you come to Brazil, you cannot say by sure, by heart, that your taxation will be 6%. It depends on a lot of other factors. Depends on the city where the good are going. Depends on the service, the city on they are providing the service. Depends on a lot of factors. So this is a very problem. It's a big problem to the investors because they cannot set the prices correctly, and they cannot understand the taxes in Brazil nowadays, but we believe it's gonna change. If anyone wants to know more about Brazilian tax reform or Brazilian tax, you can contact me through ICG, and we can send you a memo with all detailed information. Another topic that is usual to be asked by our clients, our foreign client, is how to invest in Brazil, how to open a company in Brazil. So, there's some important points to be presented. First of all, the investment used to establish a company in Brazil is tax free. So all the money, all the investment, foreign investment that came to Brazil to open a company is tax free. You will not pay any taxes to the investment in your company, to the capital investment. The shareholder must be a foreign company registered before the central bank. So if the shareholder is a company, we have to register the company before the central bank. If the investor is a person, you have to have a Brazilian permanent visa, or you have to be a Brazilian. So this is the main rule to establish a company in Brazil. Another important information is the profits could be sent abroad without payment of taxes. So the distribution of profits could be in Brazil. There is no payment of taxes over the distribution of profits. There is an exception if the country where the foreign company is established is a tax haven. So Brazil will tax these profit. Depends on the country where the company is established. So the Brazilian law allows a company to be held by a sole holder. So there is no need to have more than one shareholder as in the past. In the past in Brazil, you had to have two or more people as shareholder of the company, and now the law allows just one shareholder. And the estimate deadline to establish a company in Brazil is 19 days. That is not a very good, very fast deadline, but the authorities are working to reduce this deadline to allow the company to open a company in 10 days, 5 days, as we can see in Chile, for example, as we can see in Portugal, as we can see in other countries nowadays. So the last topic I have chosen to present today is how to import and export to and for Brazil. That is a very, very mostly common topic. People ask us about the importation to and from Brazil. So to import from Brazil, it's necessary to have an established Brazilian company, as I said, and Brazilian revenue authorities require a special authorization that could be obtained by the company through a license of importation process. So to import goods from Brazil, it's necessary to have a license, and depends on the product you are going to import. The license could take more time. For example, medicine or some meat. So some kind of products that is different licenses you have to provide. But the overview of the importation is to obtain the license to be allowed and import goods from Brazil. And to export goods to Brazil, as I said, Brazil is very strong in the iron exportation, but Brazil also import a lot of electronics, spare parts of aviation, cars, automobile. So there is a lot of exportation to Brazil. And what we always say is it's important to set a contract with the Brazilian company where you are exporting. Because if you have some problem with the payments or some problems in the shipment, the Brazilian law, there is a protection to the operation made with a contract. So it's important that the contract to be signed by two witnesses, and you have a protection in Brazil. So you can start a lawsuit, and it's very quick lawsuit in Brazil, a collection lawsuit in Brazil, and in view of the contract, it will be more easy, more faster to recover the credit, recover the money, or discuss wherever you want to discuss with the Brazilian company. So that is just a very short overview about Brazil. And I am at your disposal to respond any questions and to talk about Brazil a little bit more. Thank you.